Channel level release is an ownership tool and allows you to release channels or individual parameters back to their previous owner without having to release the entire target. To look at an example, let's go into Blind, and we want to point at Q2/3, enter. So we want to make a Q4, so we can simply type Q4, enter, enter, and that is going to create a queue with no move instructions. If we look at channels 101 through 105 in this queue, you'll see that they're simply tracking from the previous queue as we would expect. We want to select group 5 and assign them a release flag using our release soft key. Enter. You'll notice that they get small r's in their parameter tiles, as well as the values turn gray, meaning that they're going to release that information when this queue is triggered. We're going to leave our hangs and links in place, so this queue list now will still continue to link from 1 to 2 to 3 to 1, but now we have an option with Q4 to release this content. Let's go back into Live, and I want to go to Q35, enter. We're going to use our second queue list in a similar fashion to the previous example, but instead of going to Q2/0 to get out of the queue, we will go to 2/4 to release those values. So we're going to say Q36, execute 2/1, and Q37, execute 2/4. I'm going to press Live to reset my PSD to the current queue. And now when I press Go, our second queue list will take ownership of those moving lights as expected. And because Q3 links to Q1, we're simply going to have our loop of 3 queues. Now when I press Go on Q37, it's going to trigger Q2/4, which releases those fixtures to their background state. This restores those channels back to their values in Q37 of our first queue list. Since I'm planning to use the second queue list in this fashion throughout the show file, using the release flag will make for simpler programming, as I won't have to put assert flags every time I want to get back to queue list 1. To remove a release flag, we would simply go back to Blind in Q2/4 and say group 5, release, enter. However, for today, I want to leave that on there, so I'm just going to jump back into Live.